Alrighty, so it is Christmas time. All of the new players are joining the game. Everyone's trying to learn how to get better at gorilla tag. There's only one problem. I hear a lot of people asking the same questions that are the wrong questions. These questions are things like, how do you wall? How do you vertical? How do you Lucio? I haven't heard the vertical one as much, but it's mostly just how do you wall, how do you Lucio, how do you wall climb, how do you wall run, and let me solve your worries. I was gonna have a better way to say that, but I'm kind of retarded, so I kind of forgot what I was gonna say. Anyways, I will be teaching you how to perfect the craft and how to be able to go up walls like this and hit slips, like that, like easily on this video. First thing you want to do before you do anything on walls, before you do anything on ground, before you do anything on branches, practice your basic movement. Basic movement is literally just walking around. Practice it. I don't have a left hand, so I can't show you properly, but imagine I have a left hand and imagine I'm just walking around normally. Perfect your basic movement, because at first you will be moving kind of rigid, kind of like stout. You will be moving very light. You'll be moving like a Roblox character. You're not going to be moving super fluid and like moving your hands around more. That comes on later. Practice your basic movement. Practice jumping on things. Practice the amount of power you need to hit up to certain stuff. All of this is important because what are you building? You are building the foundation for your mechanics. Your mechanics being just you playing the game. You're building the foundation for that. That's why it's important to learn the basic stuff. Your favorite creators, maybe if you watch Laser Jets, if you watch Pig, if you watch VMT, I don't know, K9. All of the better players had to go through this. All of them went through the same thing you did, except they didn't immediately try to learn walls. Walls didn't really exist back then. Instead, they just played the game normally and they evolved with the game. Now that all these mechanics have been found, it's a bit more of an open book, but first thing I suggest is that you find your own style. Don't worry about learning to vertical or learning to Lucio. That will come in time, but for now, you don't need to worry about that. You're not about to contest some regional champion like Mosa in the next 3 hours because you need to learn how to vertical. Like, chill. Trust me, you will learn it. This game gets fun, but the fun part about this game is the learning process. As you get better at the game, you realize that the game becomes more fun whenever you're having things to learn. That is just an undeniable fact. Whenever you're playing the game, you're having fun. Whenever you're having fun, if you're a competitive player like myself, you're usually getting better by practicing. Getting better at certain mechanics, doing certain things better. Hitting things like long jumps. Let's see if I can do this. Easy. Hitting things like long jump. Hitting things like, let me go over here really quick. Let me make my slow walk, because it's like 11 o'clock. Doing things like slip slaps. Doing all that kind of stuff. I didn't really hit hard off of that wall, because I wasn't trying to go flying. I'm trying to walk around normally. But these are the things that you will learn over time. Not right now. Right now, what you are learning how to do basic mechanics. Basic stuff. You're learning how to do basic walking. You're learning how to walk correctly. You're teaching yourself how to basically be normal again. Because, listen, it might be hard to realize this once you're playing the game, but you're using a completely different motion. Like, this is unlike anything you've done in real life, which is why it's so hard for you to do normal stuff. Because it's basically like you're a baby again. You have to learn how to move. The problem is, all these new players are trying to learn advanced things that take a lot of, like, precision it's not as simple as, you know, it's not as simple as like walking. It takes more like, it's like, this is like if you're an adult. Like, you're an adult. Everyone that's new is like a baby. They're trying to skip to the adult phase. That's not how that works. You have to learn the basic stuff first. You have to be able to climb the walls like an adolescent, like a little child. I'm putting it into context like that because it sounds more relatable. If it sounds like I'm harassing people, sorry, but that's just, for me, a relatable way to put it into context. But, yeah. That's basically what you're doing. You're learning basic stuff. Might be learning basic branches. With basic branches, you are literally learning how to walk on the branches, and you are learning where they are. That is what you are learning. Because you might think, well, I can see the branches, I'll be fine. No. You have to make a jump like this, or you have to fling off the back of it. You gotta know what you're gonna land on. That is just a fact. If you're gonna become a brancher, you have to be able to slap off of this and immediately know that you're gonna land on something. You have to be able to... Okay, that was a weird place to climb that. You have to be able to slap off of that and land on something else without falling, or without slapping something and falling. You're going to be able to do that, and like land in a position where you can immediately do this. Landing in right. Okay, that was a bad hit. But you get the point. You gotta be able to do crazy stuff like that. Or you could literally like blindfold yourself and still play the same. Like I could literally like... I missed. I was sitting on the branch. Shut up. I didn't miss, you did. Anyways, this is how you will get better. Don't worry about there being really good players in your default lobbies or anything like that. Just practice. Focus on yourself. That is the biggest thing with Gorilla Tag, is players are very sensitive when it comes to their own skill. They don't like people calling them trash at something, because it just doesn't give them good, you know, feelings. Don't worry about it. Dog. If you practice hard and you train hard, you'll get better than them, eventually. Because I'm gonna be honest, most comp players now are pretty, like, they have no, like, attentive reasoning of playing the game. They're doing it simply because they're good at it. On the other hand, have several goals, which I'm not gonna explain those in a video. If you want to know what my goals are and what I want to do, then whole other thing. That's more of a want to get to know me as a creator, but this whole video is to help get you along your journey to becoming pro, because these are the things that pros have learned or have needed to learn. This is what they know. I will recap some of the basic stuff you need to learn first. Basic walls, basic movement, basic branches. When it comes to branches, learning where the branches are. Getting used to the movement, getting used to the physics engine that you are using, because it's not like real life. The hitting is all realistic, but it's not the same thing. It's sadly very different. Alright, I'm bad if I didn't hit that. Thank God I hit it. You are learning a completely different physics engine, a completely different, range of motions. You are no longer doing your normal human stuff. You're becoming gorilla. You're hitting off walls like that, you're, jumping along the side of walls like this. You're climbing up the side of stuff. You're going in between the branches. If you want to know how I do that kind of stuff, it is called practice. I've practiced complex mechanics. That's a video for another time. I have a series that I haven't really... I've started it, but I haven't really done a whole lot with it. Called Gorilla 101. Where I teach you, the basics. And I teach you all the stuff you need to know. But for this video, is more for the people that are wanting to get better at the game. Want to do stuff like that. You're not going to, not right now. I have years of experience over you. And that is not being mean. That is simply being like, you're not going to do this for a very good reason. Because I couldn't do this when I started. I couldn't do any of this. I was really bad when I first started. I actually don't have any footage of whenever I first started. because that was such a long time ago. Wasn't caring about YouTube back then. I have some very early footage of me playing, which is from like a bunch of Christmas updates ago. I think that was like the first Christmas update that happened. That's the first one and the second one. Anyways, that is the basics of Gorilla Tag. That is the recipe, the crafting that goes into becoming a pro player. Or becoming good in general. That is sort of what you're going to want. If you want more tutorials on me, you want more tutorials from me on how to do different mechanics and like that, I will make a video on these mechanics, like Lucio and Vertical. It's not right now, bro. That's not what this video is for. God, I gotta farm them views. Gotta farm them subs. Gotta farm, man. Gotta farm. Anyways, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, like and subscribe. I don't say that very much in my videos because I'm just like that. I'm built different. It's normally just because I don't really like slapping a minute of subscribe, this, that into the video. Because a lot of people are just going to click off if they see that and don't see me hitting something like that immediately. And being like, whoa, I want to do that. And me being like, no, you can't. You're not good enough. And then being like, well, how do I get good enough? You play. And they're like, well, that doesn't seem legit. This guy's fake. This guy's a phony.